watching Let's Chat.
Chambliss Center for Children is a local nonprofit that has been caring for children 24/7 since 1872. I'm so glad to have with me in the studio Brooke Phillips, foster parent support worker with Chambliss. Thanks for coming on today.
Thanks so much for having me. I'm really excited to be here.
I love it. So tell me all about the need for foster parents, what you're seeing, why is it so important?
So there's always a need for foster parents in our area. For kids birth through age 18, but specifically people who feel passionately about working with teenagers. We're seeing a ton of teens come into care who need somebody to invest in them, pour into them, and give them good, safe spaces to land while they're going through really difficult times. We're also seeing that there's a huge need for homes for sibling sets. We're seeing a lot of sibling sets come into care. So for families who have the space and the capacity to care for sibling sets of 2, 3, sometimes 4 or more, there's a desperate need for that in our area.
I personally feel very passionate about what the need for foster parents, good foster parents, but some people might be intimidated to take that on, thinking they can't handle it, they don't have the big enough house. Tell me about the requirements for a foster parent, why it might not be as scary as some people think.
So it's actually not nearly as scary as people think. So you have to be a resident of Tennessee, you can be single, you can be married, you can have children of your own, this can be your first time parenting. It really is open to a lot of people. The main thing is assessing, do I have room and resources to provide for a child? So I think a lot of people count themselves out way too early and think, oh, I don't have this or that to be a foster parent, when in reality, a lot of people have what it takes.
Well, let's pray people are watching that are excited and maybe ready to sign up. What's the process of becoming a foster parent?
So we actually have classes coming up, which is exciting. So all foster parents go to an info session. It's the first course in what's called 10 Key. And so we actually have one of those coming up on October 17th. And so that's the first step. At the info session, you just get an idea of, hey, what is required to be a foster parent? What rules and regulations are there? What information do I need to know? It's totally free. I tell foster parents, prospective foster parents all the time, show up, hear about it. You get to reassess. You're not obligated. You just come, you get your questions answered. If you decide you want to move forward with the process, there's a 7-week course. It's called 10 Key, and this gives you really valuable information about navigating the child welfare system, how trauma impacts the brain, how to navigate trauma behaviors, what resources and rights you have as a foster parent, and what you have access to ensure that you're giving the best care to kids in your home.
We have a very generous community, and I would imagine there's multiple service organizations to help new foster parents navigate all of that. What do you see with that as far as what's offered?
Absolutely. So I think that the curriculum itself is really great. Actually, the state of Tennessee went back in collaboration with a seasoned foster parent and said, hey, let's redesign this to make it exactly what foster parents need. I personally am the foster parent support worker at Chambliss, so we do a lot of hands-on work, but there are so many foster closets that come and help in the community all the time. So when a child comes into care, you have access to diapers, wipes, clothing, strollers, crib, things of that nature. But I could go on and on for days about all the resources available.
There's resources available, but I imagine you also have great need financially, plus maybe volunteers, supplies. How can people support this foster work if they're not ready to become a parent?
Absolutely. I say all the time, foster parenting is not for everyone, but foster care is for everyone. And so I think that a really great way to get plugged in is to be a donor. Chambliss is always needing volunteers. We actually have the Isaiah 117 house opening on our campus. So if you don't feel like full-time foster parenting is for you, there are so many ways that you can help out at Chambliss through donations, through volunteering, or getting involved with the Isaiah 117 house.
I love that, and we've had them on the show, but if our viewers don't know, the Isaiah 117 house is an immediate safe home for these children who, no fault of their own, are immediately pulled out of dangerous situations versus having to sleep on the floor at DCS or in a stranger's, in an investigator's car. I've heard some really sad stories, so it's wonderful that you're partnering with them. So thank you so much for coming on. Tell us again the website, who we can call to help.
Okay, so if you want to start classes, come to an info session. It's October 17th. They're virtual, they're free.
Oh, great.
Yeah, so anybody can hop on and join if you'll email fostercare@chamblisscenter.org. We can get you set up with classes. You can always find foster care information at chamblisscenter.org.
Chamblisscenter.org. Foster email?
fostercare@chamblisscenter.org.
That's wonderful. And I also have a phone number, 423-698-2456. All the information's all the information's up on the screen. Chamblisscenter.org. Always looking for foster parents or support. I love what you said. Everyone, say that again.
So foster parenting is not for everyone, but foster care is for everyone.
That's beautiful, and help these children that find themselves in these situations. Thanks for coming on, Brooke.
Absolutely.
Chamblisscenter.org. You can find them on Facebook too, and give them an Isaiah 117 house your support. Thanks again.
Thank you.